Shalom and good day all, this is Tehillim29 back again for another DC review, and in this DC review I'll be covering Justice League versus Godzilla and Kong, along with the Superman by Joshua Williamson. I'll now get things organised for the first one that I'll be reviewing. So for the first one I'll be reviewing, it will be the Justice League versus Godzilla and Kong. So first things first, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside of the story? It does, to which we do get to see some of these members make an appearance from the Justice League and also play their part in the story, to which I give a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the internal art as we have a look around the beginning, middle and of course the end. So as the story begins, we end up catching up with Supergirl and Lois that are in the watchtower, and we learn that Lois is also getting some help from Mercy. Whilst this is occurring, we see what is happening with the character of Aquaman in the area of Atlantis. As the story continues around the middle, we end up catching up with the character of Supergirl, to which we also have an appearance of Grodd from the Legion of Doom. Actually, if it's one thing I'd like to point out that I really like what they've done with the Legion of Doom here in this story, it's that they've actually gathered up all of the DC villains practically, like throughout the DC universe, and had them all together in one place, whether it's Batman's villains, Green Lantern villains, you name it, that you get to see them all together. And I like that idea for the Legion of Doom. In fact, I think it works a little bit better than some of the things that we've seen in the main DC line. Because not only with that, you actually get a big, huge amount, and that, yes, it also includes the Joker, Penguin, and many other characters. But I like the idea of it because it almost feels like a united villain front against the heroes in the story. And that they're willing to go at all extremes to take out the heroes. So moving into the next thing, and that is towards the end of the story for the art, to which we learn that Lex Luthor has a Mecha Godzilla to take on Godzilla. So for the internal art, I give a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move to the area of the story. So first things first, do we get anything time-wise? No, we don't. Next is the location. Well, the key location that we mainly see in here is the Watchtower. It would be nice to see other locations sort of like pointed out in the story, because it does get a little bit confusing, because sometimes you don't know where it's happening. But apart from that, does it ruin the story? I'll get to that, to the story when we reach the story rating. Next is the cast of characters, to which we get to see Lois Lane, Mercy, of course, Superman and Supergirl, Godzilla, of course, Kong, and we got to see the members of the Justice League. We also got to see the League of Assassins with Ra's al Ghul, of course, Lex Luthor. We got to see the members of the Titans helping out, including Shazam. We got to see members of the Green Lantern Corps, which I really enjoyed seeing, because we got to see Jessica Cruz there. Really great. And last but not least, we got to see the character of Ra's al Ghul, to which I give this story a rating of 8 out of 10. I am looking forward as we reach the conclusion of this story, and I hope it goes out with a bang. So as we begin to move into Joshua Williamson's Lex Luthor, not Lex Luthor, I mean Superman. Does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? Sure enough it does, to which I give it a 7.5 out of 10. It's really nice to see something that interconnects with the story. As with some covers, you do get ones that sort of like a misdirect, and in some cases, other covers don't even connect to the story at all. So let's move into for the cover, I give a 7.5. For the internal art, let's have a look around the beginning, middle, and end, and also what's happening story-wise. So as the story begins, we end up having the Revenge on Lex Luthor squad starting to go up against Superman, as they really want him on his side to take him out. But it looks like Superman might require some of Lex Luthor's help to take out these group of villains, including the Chained. And sure enough, who turns up on the scene? Is it a Luthor? Well, it's definitely not Lex, but it's definitely Lena, wearing Lex's armor, as she also comes to help out Superman in the situation. Something that we don't normally see happen in a Superman run, where one of his relatives decide to wear his equipment. But seeing where Lex Luthor is right now, in the Strikers Island prison, it only makes sense that only some other member of his family is able to wear it. So, smart choice in that, even though it might look a little bit out of place, but we must remember he is a villain, and a villain will go to all costs to also take out other threats to their goals. And last but not least, we move towards the end of the story, to which Superman takes on the Revenge of Lex Luthor squad, or Revenge on Lex Luthor squad, only to barely escape. So for the internal art, I give a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the area of the story. So first things first, does this comic give us any comic references? Well, sure enough, it does, to issue 1, which is really nice. And because of that, it has also helped increase the story rating for this. Next is the area of time, to which we have a few hours earlier to now, sort of like addressing the present. Next is the area of locations, to which we see Metropolis, Supercorp, and also Strikers Island. The cast of characters consisting, of course, Lex Luthor. We also get to see the Chained, Graft and Farmer, Lex Luthor, and of course Lena and Mercy. We also do get to see Lois Lane. For the overall story rating in this, I do feel this one is a little bit better than some of his previous. I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.